Hey everyone. Hope everybody's had a great, or at least a good Wednesday. We're smoothing into Wednesday evening. It's November the 3rd, and I just wanted to share some encouraging words that God shared with me this morning in my devotion time with Him. The devotion today was about the promises of God and how many people in today's world take commitment and just even the covenant of marriage, they take those commitments so lightly. We see politicians doing it on TV, not keeping promises or whatever. Even friends will let us down. They're human. They'll reschedule, or I'm very guilty of that. Certain people, like I said, even take the covenant and the vow of marriage, to the extreme of, well, if I get bored in a few years, there's a divorce lawyer or whatever. And it's just really, we've gotten away from our word being able to be counted on, depended on. I just had to stop and thank God and say, I really wanted to be this evening able to look at times through my journals where I had been crying out to God for whatever season that I was in, and even now, things that He's doing in ways that He puts things together for our good, and His Word tells us that. But I had to thankfully just be so grateful and thank Him that He always kept His word, and He always does, and He just doesn't change. And the Bible's filled with those scriptures that just give us that stability in that moment of just confusion and chaos that we're surrounded with when we go out into this world, or even when we're alone at home and the enemy tries to get into our minds. The scripture is packed with just promise after promise, and if you're feeling unstable in this moment, or whatever season that you're in, let me remind you that feelings come and go, and they are so fickle. But God is a promise keeper, and if He tells you this is the promise that I give you in His scripture, then you can stand on it. And in just such an ever-changing world where vows are broken and friends let friends down, and we all let people down, guys. We're human. But that's where God is growing us up and maturing us and developing a character in us to where it's just so reassuring to know that we serve a God that takes the time to put that and grow that in us to where we actually want our words to be, our commitments to stand and our word to be depended on. We all want to be that. And there's times that life just happens and we can't. But thankfully we serve a big, big God that, I think the verse today was Hebrews 10:19 through 23. If you guys want to look that up, but just take a moment this evening if you get a chance. I just encourage you to do this. It really just gave me a lot of just stabilization in just a moment of unclarity, is how I guess you could put it. But just remembering and looking back at just a few things that I had cried out to God for, and then sometimes it was a few months, sometimes it was a few days, whatever, but I seen God start to work. And so I kind of built an altar there in those spots in my journal. It's like a post-it victory. And I think I'm going to start doing that more often, just to remember that in such a changing, unstable outside world, guys, there's still good Christian people that are standing on the Word and on the Scripture and on God's promises today. And I encourage you to be one of those, and just remember that His promises is what matters at the end of the day. When you come home of the evening, It's not the house that you're coming home to. It's not even the spouse. God gave you that home, just like He gave us our children. He loaned all of that stuff to us, and I'm starting to just see the promises of God. And wow, we serve a great big God, guys. So be encouraged today on a Wednesday. I know it's chilly out. Fall is great, sweater time, and all of that. But we can get down, and we can get caught up in this just unstable world. So be alert, be sober, be vigilant, and just be encouraged, y'all. Nobody's going to want what we've got if, we're drooping around and being the same as the world all the time. So stand on His promises today, that He's never going to leave you and He's never going to forsake you. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Would love to see some new subscribers, so share these videos, this channel. Would love to just want to encourage y'all. I've had to depend on things like this for my own encouragement sometimes, and to get me back to the Word and back to the arms of Jesus. And we all have got to have a seat. And anyway, thank God for His promises today, y'all. And just take a moment and look back. He's been there for you. God bless y'all. Have a good rest of your evening.